Welcome back to the channel, everyone. If you love unbelievable talent, emotional moments, and stories that remind us why dreams matter, then make sure you like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because today we are bringing you one of the most unforgettable moments in talent show history. This is the audition that broke the internet, the performance that stopped the judges in their tracks, and the moment that millions of people around the world could not stop talking about. The theater lights were bright, the crowd was buzzing with excitement, and the judges were settling into their seats, ready for another long day of auditions. Hundreds of performers had already walked onto this stage, some confident, some nervous, some extraordinary, and some unforgettable for very different reasons. But no one in that room knew that they were about to witness something truly special. A moment that would change a life forever and leave a permanent mark on the show's history. Then the doors opened, and the contestant walked onto the stage. At first glance, nothing seemed out of the ordinary. No flashy costume, no dramatic entrance, just a calm and humble presence. The audience clapped politely, and the judges looked up with curiosity. There was something quiet about this person, a gentle confidence mixed with visible nerves. You could see the deep breath being taken, the steadying of the hands, and the determination in the eyes. The host asked a few simple questions. Name, age, where they were from, and what they planned to perform. The answers were honest and straightforward. No dramatic backstory, no exaggerated claims, just a person who loved music and had dreamed of standing on this stage for a very long time. When asked why they came to audition, the contestant paused for a moment and said they wanted to prove to themselves and to the world that ordinary people can achieve extraordinary things. The audience responded with warm applause. The judges nodded, some smiling politely, others waiting patiently to be impressed. Simon leaned back in his chair with his usual serious expression. He had seen thousands of auditions. It took something truly special to surprise him. Amanda offered an encouraging smile. Alicia gave a supportive nod. Bruno leaned forward, clearly curious about what was coming next. The music began softly. At first, it was quiet, almost fragile. The contestant closed their eyes and started to sing. The first note floated through the theater, gentle and controlled. The room became silent. You could hear the sound of breathing, the faint rustle of clothing, and the distant hum of the stage lights. Then the voice grew stronger. With each line, the emotion built. The tone was rich, powerful, and full of feeling. Within seconds, the audience realized they were witnessing something extraordinary. Heads began to turn. People in the crowd leaned forward in their seats. Some covered their mouths in shock. Others looked at each other in disbelief. The judges' expressions changed almost instantly. Simon's eyebrows lifted. Amanda's eyes widened. Alicia placed her hand over her heart. Bruno's jaw dropped slightly as he stared at the stage. The performance continued to build. The singer's voice soared higher and higher, filling every corner of the theater. It was not just about hitting the right notes. It was about storytelling, emotion, and connection. You could feel the pain, hope, and passion in every word. It felt as if the entire room was breathing together, completely connected to this one voice. Then came the moment that changed everything. The song reached its climax. The music swelled, and the contestant delivered a powerful note that echoed through the hall. The sound was so strong, so clear, and so emotional that the audience erupted into applause before the song had even ended. Some people stood up from their seats. Others wiped away tears. The energy in the room was electric. As the final note faded away, there was a brief moment of silence. That quiet second felt endless. Then suddenly, the entire theater exploded with cheers. The audience jumped to their feet in a standing ovation. People clapped, shouted, and whistled. The judges stood up as well, applauding with huge smiles on their faces. It was one of those rare moments when everyone in the room agreed that they had just witnessed something truly special. The contestant stood on the stage, breathing heavily, eyes wide with shock and emotion. You could see the disbelief on their face. They had poured their heart into that performance, but they never expected such an overwhelming reaction. Tears began to form in their eyes as they looked out at the cheering crowd. Simon was the first judge to speak. He paused for a moment, letting the applause die down. Then he leaned forward and said that he had not expected that at all. He admitted that when the contestant first walked onto the stage, he had no idea what was coming. But after hearing that performance, he said it was one of the most powerful auditions he had heard in a long time. Coming from Simon, those words meant everything. Amanda spoke next. Her voice was emotional as she explained how the performance made her feel. She said it was not just about having a great voice, but about telling a story that touched people's hearts. She praised the contestants' bravery and honesty, saying that it takes courage to stand on that stage and be so vulnerable in front of millions of viewers. Alicia added that the performance gave her goosebumps. She talked about how rare it is to see someone connect so deeply with a song and deliver it with such authenticity. She said it felt real, raw, and unforgettable. Bruno, full of excitement as always, jumped in with dramatic praise. He said the performance was magical, breathtaking, and absolutely sensational. He stood up again and gave another round of applause, clearly still feeling the energy of the moment. Then it was time for the votes. One by one, the judges gave their yes. 4 yeses. The contestant had made it through to the next round. The crowd cheered even louder. Confetti did not fall from the ceiling, but it felt like a celebration. The contestant covered their face with their hands, overwhelmed with emotion, and then thanked the judges and the audience again and again. Backstage, the contestant was met by the hosts, who congratulated them on the incredible audition. Still shaking with excitement, they explained how much this moment meant to them. They talked about years of practicing, moments of doubt, and times when they almost gave up. Standing on that stage and receiving such positive feedback felt like a dream come true. But the story did not end there. When the audition aired on television, something extraordinary happened. Within hours, clips of the performance were shared across social media platforms. People from all over the world began watching, reacting, and sharing their thoughts. The video gained millions of views in a very short time. Comments flooded in from different countries, languages, and cultures. Some viewers said the performance gave them chills. Others said it brought them to tears. Many people shared personal stories about how the audition inspired them to chase their own dreams. The hashtag related to the audition began trending. News websites wrote articles about it. Reaction videos appeared on YouTube. Even celebrities shared the clip and praised the contestants' talent. This was the moment when people started calling it the audition that broke the internet. It was everywhere. On phones, laptops, televisions, and social media feeds. You could not scroll without seeing someone talking about it. The contestant went from being an unknown person to a global sensation almost overnight. With all this attention came new opportunities. Interviews, invitations, and messages of support poured in. The contestant was invited to speak on radio shows and television programs. Fans created fan pages and shared edits of the performance. The pressure increased, but so did the excitement. As the competition continued, the contestant returned to the stage for the next round. The expectations were higher than ever. Everyone wanted to see if they could deliver another unforgettable performance. Walking onto that stage again felt different this time. The nerves were stronger, but so was the confidence. When the music started once again, the contestant closed their eyes and focused on the moment. They remembered why they started singing in the first place. Not for fame, not for views, but for the love of music. And once again, they delivered a powerful performance that reminded everyone why they had fallen in love with that voice in the first place. The judges praised the growth and improvement. The audience showed their support. And although the competition was tough and filled with other incredible performers, this contestant continued to stand out because of their emotional connection and authenticity. No matter how far they went in the competition, one thing was already clear. Their audition had become a part of talent show history. It was a moment people would remember and talk about for years to come. What made this audition so special was not just the vocal ability. It was the story behind it. It was about courage, vulnerability, and believing in yourself even when the odds seem impossible. It reminded people that you do not need to be famous or perfect to make an impact. Sometimes, all it takes is one moment of bravery to change everything. Behind the scenes, the contestant continued working hard, practicing every day, and staying grounded despite the sudden fame. They stayed connected with their family and friends, who had supported them from the beginning. They shared how important it was to stay humble and grateful, no matter how big the moment becomes. Fans continued to follow their journey, cheering for every performance and celebrating every success. Messages of encouragement filled their social media pages. People thanked them for inspiring hope and positivity during difficult times. Looking back at that first audition, it is clear why it went viral. It was raw, real, and powerful. It was not just entertainment. It was a human moment that connected millions of people across the world. And that is the magic of shows like Britain's Got Talent. They bring together people from different backgrounds and give them a platform to share their gifts with the world. Sometimes, in the middle of all the auditions and performances, a truly special moment appears. A moment that reminds us why we love music, art, and storytelling. This audition was one of those moments. A moment when time seemed to stop. A moment when a single voice filled a massive theater and touched millions of hearts. A moment that proved that dreams are worth chasing and that extraordinary things can happen when you take a chance. So if you ever doubt yourself, remember this story. Remember that one brave step onto a stage can change a life forever. Remember that your voice, your talent, and your story matter. And remember that sometimes, the audition you almost did not take could be the one that breaks the internet. If you enjoyed this incredible story, make sure to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. For more inspiring moments from the world of talent and entertainment. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video.